Lin Daiyu crushes apricot kernels and black sesame seeds in a marble mortar. She scrapes the medicine into a bowl of stewed bird's nests and stirs it with a porcelain spoon. She brings the bowl to her mother's bed near the window. Propped against her bolsters, Daiyu's mother sips the dose, grimacing a little. Daiyu watches every mouthful, as if by her vigilance she can somehow will the medicine to work. Mrs. Lin lies back, exhausted even by the act of drinking. "Daiyu," she says, her voice a reedy thread. "Yes?" "I want to show you something." "What is it?" "Go and look in the bottom of my old trunk." Daiyu kneels before the wardrobe and opens the battered chest where the family keeps their winter clothes. She rummages beneath the piles of bulky padded trousers and quilted jackets, and finds a flat bundle in a crimson brocade wrapping cloth. "Yes, that's it. Bring it here." Her mother's thin fingers struggle with a knot, and Daiyu leans over to help. Inside are 2 flat boxes. Mrs. Lin opens one to reveal a necklace of reddish gold in the form of a coiling dragon. In the other is a tiara of flying golden phoenixes, a string of pearls arching from each beak. "These are from your dowry, aren't they?" Mrs. Lin does not seem to hear the question. "Help me up," she says. Daiyu climbs onto the bed and adjusts the pillows so that her mother is sitting upright. Her mother places the tiara on her uncombed hair. "Bring me a mirror." Reluctantly, Daiyu gets the one on the dressing table. Leaning against the cushions, her mother tilts the tiny bronze hand mirror back and forth, catching little glimpses of herself on the polished surface. "What a fine young lady I was back then, looking down my nose at everything. Why, I'd never even touched, let alone worn, silks like these, made by common weavers." Her fingers pluck at the worn, honey-colored material of her robe. "Everything we wore was made in the palace by the imperial weavers. Even our maids didn't wear such stuff." Daiyu's mother laughs a little, as if marveling at her younger self. "I was fond of fine things in those days, and my parents spoiled me by giving me anything I wanted. My eldest brother, Jin, didn't mind, but my second brother, Chen, was always jealous." Daiyu sits by her mother's feet, watching the play of expression on her face. "I remember one New Year's, when our grandfather, the first Duke of Rongguo, was still alive. He asked us to write lantern riddles in the verse. When he read what the 3 of us had written, he said it was a pity I hadn't been born a boy, for I would have been sure to win the Jia's glory if I had been allowed to take the civil service exams." Daiyu nods. Her mother loved poetry and had taught Daiyu the rules of meter and rhyme as soon as she could read. "As it was, Jen had to take the exams I don't know how many times until he passed. Your father passed the first time, of course. But in the end, Jen did pretty well for himself." To Daiyu, her mother's voice sounds slightly grudging. "Under secretary in the Ministry of Works. Jen always was a hard worker." "What about your eldest brother?" "Jin never did pass. All he did was fritter away my father's money on concubines and gambling." The reminiscent smile fades from Mrs. Lin's face, and her expression grows somber. She hands Daiyu the mirror and plucks the tiara off her hair. "And now Jen is the only one of us who is still alive and living at Rongguo Mansion with my mother." "Do I have any cousins there?" Daiyu says. "Well, there's the famous Baiyu, of course." "Why is he famous?" "Haven't I told you about him?" Her mother's delicate eyebrows arch in surprise. "He's Chen's son. He was the one born with a jade in his mouth. That's why your grandmother named him Baoyu, precious jade."